Welcome YouTube to an engine overhaul on this John Deere 1951A. So what we got here, we got most of the parts and pieces laid out. We got new gaskets, new rings from John Deere. We got the piston ring grooves cleaned out pretty good. There's the block. We got the head in there. Already had it down in the machine shop. So what we just got finished doing now is cleaning most of this out. Still got a ways to go. We're gonna make sure we're pumping oil pretty good, and then we'll be ready to put the block on.
And we're gonna put some lubricant on there as he goes up and down here. We'll get started.
Alright guys, so here's the final product after honing it up. Looks pretty good, all shined up. Should be ready to go back on the tractor.
Okay, what we're doing here now, guys, is we cleaned this assembly up, the piston assembly up. We took the wrist pin out and we cleaned up in here where the bushing is. We got a good clearance between our bushing and our wrist pin. What we did after cleaning this, now we always put oil on here, and we're gonna go ahead, this is all pre-oiled now, and we drop that in there and we push this back into place. And on this other side, we actually have the retainer clip in there ready, so we know the depth of our pin. We put it in there, and that's together. You always want to make sure on these John Deere pistons, they'll always tell you what is top, and they mark it here what's number 1 piston, and you always want them both up, then you know you're in the right position. And after this, now we'll put our retainer in there, flip it over, we'll show you how to put the rings on here in a minute, and we're going to slide this one in the cylinder. When you go to install rings, the instructors are going to show you that they'll mark those rings, and you notice a little punch mark right there. That's going to be installed toward the head or the top of the piston. This is not technically the proper tool to do this, but the tools, a lot of them will have it to support that ring on the back side. As we got all our rings on the piston, and one place that we want to do with our ring end gaps, in other words where the two ends come together, you want to put it up just on the outside of the wrist pin, because that's where there's the least amount of oil to control. And you'll notice now these two are lined up. You don't want that. You want them at least that far off, or even 180 degrees off. Make sure that your rings are all offset so your gaps aren't lined up. That allow compression to come down or oil to go out. that one there.
Alright guys, so we got them all torqued up. We'll put some wire through them castellated nuts just like they did in the factory and get ready and slide the other piston in. Yeah, come a little farther over. That's pretty good. Wait, what should I say?
The two stamp marks there that match your rod cap. There's stamp tip marks in there.
Alright. Alright guys, as you can see, there's the two pit marks. They match up perfectly there on the rod. So we'll push him on. You're not filming anything. You didn't film it at all.
Sorry, but
It's good.
You put your head right in my way.
Well, the bolts just pushed out.
What do you think, Dan?
Rock on. There we go.
Got good oil in them bolts.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure.
There you go. And as soon as you put them bolts on there, then as you tighten them up, make sure it turns good. There, Dan got it. Make sure that is a flat part of that bolt down.
Yeah, I checked that.
Okay, good. Pull her up even there. All right, guys, we'll finish tightening these up here, and we'll show you how to torque them here in just a minute.